If you hear me!
What's happening, good people, and welcome back to another episode of From the Vault with the ring historian, Dirty Dave. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, it's that time of week again where we take a stroll down memory lane with none other than Dirty Dave himself. But it's not just Dirty Dave here, is it? It is the humble host. I am Fraz, and we also have a very quiet Mr. Andi Nero, the Kayfabe Assassin. Yeah, he's been a bit quiet the last couple of hours, actually. I'm not too sure what's up with him, but hopefully some of this trivia will perk him up a little bit.
Well, we can but hope, can't we?
Well, that was a delay. Jesus.
I was letting it breathe.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
What's the secret to good comedy? You let that. That's it. You let that breathe too long. Anyway, God. What did I say earlier? What did I say earlier, Andy? I said we're working with an amateur, didn't I?
Yep.
Thank you very much for that beautiful introduction, Fraz. It's going to be a little bit different today, as you probably noticed on the TV shows and all over internet land. Obviously, we lost Hulk Hogan last week, so I thought I'd do some Hulk Hogan trivia and just do like a little tribute to him and run through some of his accolades as well. But in addition to that, it then still didn't feel quite right to go back and find other wrestling-y sort of stuff that happened this week. But we have got Super SummerSlam this weekend. We've got 2 days of SummerSlam, the first ever SummerSlam. So I will hit you with some totally off-the-cuff SummerSlam facts. And I've also got the top 10 ranked SummerSlam matches in history from WWE.com. So I can't be held responsible when Bret Hart comes up 12 times, even though there's only 10 matches. But it's online. And we will discuss briefly, out of those matches, which ones we all liked. I think there'll be some on there that Andy will absolutely adore. There'll be some on there that Fraz might even shed a tear for. It'll be very interesting. So, if it's all right with you, gentlemen, shall I start you off with some Hulk Hogan?
Crack on, big man.
Do it.
I think it's safe to say that Hogan, Terry, is a very mixed response to this guy. I'm not interested in his personal life. We're just talking about wrestling. And before that, he's the greatest wrestling star of all time. We wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't for Hogan, because WWE wouldn't exist, and WCW wouldn't, because the NWA wouldn't have been bought and sold to Jim Crockett's promotion, and so on and so on and so on. NWO wouldn't have happened. Attitude Era probably wouldn't have happened. Oh, who knows? So, am I his biggest fan? No, but he's done some absolutely incredible things. I'm going to run through some title history, and then I'm going to give you both some facts. So did you know that before he came to the WWF, he was already a 2-time AWA wrestling champion, which I know most people seem to think that wrestling didn't exist before WrestleMania 1, but it did. And actually, AWA was the biggest promotion at one point. And when it was up for debate whether Vince McMahon was going to have Dusty Rhodes or Hulk Hogan as his top star, and Dusty actually declined it. He definitely went with Hogan because of the success that he'd seen him have up in that north region, that north territory around Minnesota, because that was close to WWE, that was close to New York. So he went with it, and Hogan won his first title within a few months of being back in the company.
Just letting it breathe.
What's
January 23rd, 1984, beat the Iron Sheik. We seem to have had some sort of technical malfunction there from our...
What the hell happened there?
Our beautiful host. So I suggest listening to us on Spotify.
I don't think I was going to save that, but...
Got some visual malfunctions.
What, from me? Is it me?
That wasn't you. That was Dave, as far as I was
concerned. I thought you were letting it breathe.
You froze. I was just looking like...
No. No, on my screen, you all went blank. Like the whole screen went blank.
Oh, well, for us, you just froze, and I thought you were letting her breathe. So I just said, "He's letting her breathe."
No,
Anyway.
I was still talking, but you guys all disappeared.
How bizarre.
Crack on. Let's crack on.
I can't remember where I got to.
Oh, you were just talking about his AWA reigns moving on.
Yeah, was that the last thing I said before it froze?
I don't know.
Should we just do it
didn't
again?
hear.
Okay, mark the time down then, and we'll start again. Or I'll pick up. So I'll let it get to 8 minutes. Hang on. Yeah, so from the AWA, got to be careful not to say AEW because that's very different, and that's fine, but it is very different. Obviously, went back to WWE. Vince picked him over Dusty Rhodes. He wins his first title by beating the Iron Sheik in Madison Square Garden in the 1st of January 23rd, 1984. Get my words out. He held the title for 1,474 days. It's the 3rd longest reign in WWF history. But actually, there's a different way you can look at that. It's actually the longest WWF title reign because Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund started their reigns when it was still called WWF. And obviously Roman Reigns didn't beat the 1,474 days anyway, but even if he would have, it's a WWE reign. So you could say Hogan has had the longest WWF title reign. Just a different way of looking at it, if you want to look at it.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Does that sort of make sense?
Perfectly reasonable.
But yeah. But, of course, everybody has to lose. And what better way to lose than a dodgy referee and losing the title to Andre the Giant? Well, at least that's believable. Not the fake referee, but Andre the Giant. He could beat anyone, couldn't he? So it can't really get any better for Hogan, can it? Yeah. He has probably his best match in his WWF career. And probably one of his best matches in his whole career against Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5. It's actually a 16-month build where the Mega Powers finally exploded and he regained the title from a now heel Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5. I don't know if you boys have ever seen that, but if you haven't, go back and watch it. WrestleMania 5's not from the best arena in the world. Crowd's a bit funny, sounds a bit weird, but it is a fantastic match. Honestly, I do think it's probably one of Hogan's best matches. But that's just my opinion.
I can't remember any of Hogan's matches other than in WCW. No, actually, no, that's a lie. That is a 100%. No, that is a lie. That is a lie. Because I remember Yokozuna. I remember.
I'll come to that.
I remember Ultimate Warrior. I remember. Didn't he slam King Kong Bundy in front of 83,000 people?
That was Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. But I'll get to that. All right. So then he loses the title to the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. You're right, but he regains it for the 3rd time against Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7. He then loses it to The Undertaker and regains it 2 days later at Tuesday in Texas. That's his 4th reign. His 5th reign, everybody remembers because it's iconic. He screws the Hitman and beats Yokozuna, after Yokozuna beats Brett at WrestleMania 9. And, of course, the toughest, the most epic battle he's ever had for a championship in his entire career was at Backlash 2002 when he took the title from Triple H. Stung that one a little bit, but hey. Another little fact here, actually. Hulk Hogan's the last ever WWF champion. Because in May of 2002, they changed from WWF to WWE. So not only is he the longest reigning WWF champion reign at 1,474 days, he's the last WWF champion, and he's the first WWE champion.
Bloody Hogan.
Fact Fileasaurus. There you go. I'm just saying.
Hold on, Dave, before you move on. What are your thoughts on all of this knowledge that's being spouted right now, Andy?
The history of Hulk Hogan, the contribution he made, unquestionable, but it's so on brand that he was the last WWF champion, the first WWE champion.
They're just facts. They're not.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
nothing like. I'm not.
Disputable.
It's not my opinion. I'm just putting the positive facts out there for him. That's all I'm doing. But Fraz mentioned it really rightly, that he remembers more of the WCW stuff. So he's an 8-time WCW champion. And I'll run through this a little bit quicker because I've got some actual facts and then we'll get to SummerSlam. So his first championship he wins at Bash at the Beach, which is a bit of a prominent pay-per-view for him in the end. We'll talk about that in a bit. It's in July 1994. He beats Ric Flair. He has Mr. T in his corner. It's the highest grossing pay-per-view that WCW had up to that point. It had almost 300,000 pay-per-view buys. It's the biggest one they'd had. So just to prove Hogan could still draw, he could still draw. Now his next title would take a little while. He'd get that at a fantastic pay-per-view. We used to love watching these, Fraz. Hog Wild. That's right. That's right.
Andy's pay-per-view.
And Andy's dead. August the 10th, 1996. He beats the Giant, and of course at this point he's now been in the NWO for a month. He is Hollywood. He's not wearing yellow. He's not wearing red. He's wearing black, was the famous line from Bobby Heenan. But yeah, he held that title for a year before he lost it to Lex Luger on the Nitro after SummerSlam 1997. Yes, that's right, I've mixed brands. I've gone from WWE to WCW, but the reason I've done that is because SummerSlam was such an awesome pay-per-view in 1997. WCW countered by having a world title match on the Nitro after, so fans wouldn't watch the Raw after. And he loses to Lex Luger.
So their counter booking for SummerSlam 97 was to have Lex Luger as the champion.
But it gets better because 6 days later at their following pay-per-view, wait for it, Fraz, this one's called Road Wild, when they had all the motorbikes, Hogan regains the title from Lex.
Magic.
6 days. What a payoff.
Seriously, any new generation wrestling fans should seriously consider themselves unlucky for missing such fantastic booking.
So before we moan about a 51-day title reign, let's go with 6 days. And yes, so
I don't know if you're gonna mention it or not, but I cannot believe you haven't already spoken about Hulk Hogan's steel cage match against Vader.
I spoke about that on the previous show, actually, but I can. Yes, that was Bash at the Beach 1995. It was Vader's last top match. He dislocated his shoulder because Hogan was laying in the wrong place of the ring when Vader did a senton off the top of the cage ring type thing. Yeah, it was on a beach.
Vader was the ultimate bad guy in WCW when I was younger, and because of Hogan, he then left and went to WWF, did he not? I think.
Yes.
Didn't he go to WWF shortly after that?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? He went because he's not happy with the politics in WCW with Hulk Hogan, and then he got hit with the politics of Shawn Michaels. So
stomping on his head.
Right place.
Apologies. Get back on track.
Well, his next 4 championships are all won on Nitro, so I'll be really quick. December, his 4th reign. December 1997, he beats Sting. April 1998, he defeats Randy Savage. Savage had won the title 24 hours before that at Spring Stampede, because I don't know about you, but I feel like a stampede when it's springy. Then it's the Finger Poke of Doom on January the 4th, 1999, against Kevin Nash. Then he beats Randy Savage again in July of 1999, who again won the title the day before, whatever that pay-per-view was. I lose track because they keep changing their names. I don't even think they knew what they were booking at this point. And then Bash at the Beach, I told you it's a pivotal pay-per-view for Hogan. He then wins the title when Double J, good old J-E-F-F, J-A-R-R-E-T-T, lays down for him. And he says, this is exactly what's wrong with this company, this bullshit. And of course he's talking about Vince Russo. His one and only tag title reign, to finish on a bit of a high, I thought I'd hit you with this, happened on SmackDown. It was July the 4th. It's Fraz's birthday in 2002. What could make Fraz happier than watching Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo defend their tag team titles against Hulk Hogan and Edge? That's right. Hogan and Edge beat Chuck and Billy, so Billy lost the tag titles.
Unbelievable.
Not great. So there you go. That's just Hogan's accolades. Just a few very quick things. He's the only wrestler to ever be on the front cover of Sports Illustrated, which is a massive magazine in America. He was fired by Vince McMahon Sr. for going to do the Rocky 3 movie. Between 1983 and 1985, he had his own cartoon, The Rock and Wrestling Connection, and obviously that was on MTV. That started and led up to WrestleMania 1. He did grant over 200 Make-A-Wish wishes. I don't like to use the same word twice, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. They are Make-A-Wish wishes.
Yeah.
Like I said, the monstrous title reign of 1,474 days. He did give us that epic match, WrestleMania 18 against The Rock, which is, you know, the best crowd reaction to a match ever in the history of crowd reactions. And yeah, you know what? He made some really bad business decisions as well. He didn't help some people, and he didn't do everything that he could do. But if you look back at everything he has done, it's a tough argument to say that he wasn't right more than he was wrong, for one reason or another. So that's Hulk Hogan, people. What are your thoughts before I swivel to SummerSlam?
I'll pass this one on to Andy
God.
because he loves Hogan.
Okay. My mum has always said, if you've got nothing nice to say nothing at all. So I can't say a whole lot. He is on most, if not everyone's Mount Rushmore for his contribution to the business. He was, I put it like this. He was the right guy in the right place at the right time. But he was also one of the most fortunate people ever in wrestling history. And if you think, like you rightly said, it could have been Dusty. Had Dusty not turned Vince down, it would have been Dusty. So the fact that Hogan took the ball and ran with it, and he ran hard with it, you know, fair play to him. He did the hard yards, he put in the work, but, you know, he wasn't exactly, again, I don't want to speak ill of him, he wasn't exactly putting on great matches, even at the time, but he was engaging with a crowd and a zeitgeist that echoed, you know, it echoed his sentiments and his thoughts and feelings. So there you go, a man with a finger on the pulse. Well, not anymore, but
Trying to find it, maybe.
A little bit more. Let it breathe a little bit more. What you gonna do, brother? Yeah, I'll be real quick. Scumbag of a human, but what a legend when it came to wrestling. Like, you know, this is a wrestling show. We're talking about him and what he did for us. Like, for me, that whole NWO stint was amazing. From 97 to 99 really was peak, and everything he did was just gold. Like I was telling Andy when he was here the other day, just his entrance alone is possibly my favourite Hogan thing. You know,
playing
the guitar with the title, or when he didn't have a title, the black spray painted beard. It was just cool. It was just cool as fuck. And he was what, like 50 at the time? Dude was the shit, you know. And with Hall and Nash, like, I know DX was cool, but NWO were always cooler because they were just fucking kicking ass and taking names, and that whole saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Oh, you know, if you're referring to that statement in wrestling, it's NWO because everyone joined them.
And
cool as fuck.
I think you're right. I think right place, right time, several times. You know, when I was a kid, he was the real life He-Man. You know, so to actually see this huge, tan, muscly guy come out, you know, you did think, okay, good is going to prevail. This guy is going to do anything. He'll slam Andre. He'll win. And then as a teenager, you know, he turns and he's this bad NWO member, and you're like, oh, you know, that captivated, like you say, Fraz, the 90s. So, yeah, you know, the bottom line is, you know, I sat on my floor with my wrestling figures and watched him as a kid, and, you know, was enthralled by the good guy winning. And then when I was a teenager, I sat with a beer and watched Hollywood totally transform the business a second time. can't take those memories away. And if I didn't know anything about him personally, they would be what my memories are. So I'm just, for the sake of this show, I'm just sticking to them. And as a wrestler, and like I said, we wouldn't be watching this program if it wasn't for him, because you never know what would have happened with Dusty. It might have been better, it might not, you just don't know. But we got what we got, and the bottom line is we need to be grateful for that, because that's given us where we are now. We wouldn't be going into SummerSlam now if it wasn't for that. So well done Hulkamania, well done Vince McMahon, and thanks Terry.
Thanks, Tezza.
Right, let's hit you with SummerSlam then, boys. Ready?
Ready.
Right, top 10, so I can't take any blame for this. Number 10, The Undertaker versus Edge at 2008 SummerSlam, if anybody remembers that. I think it was a Hell in a Cell, actually. Anybody remember that? I think...
No.
I recall. No. I remember them fighting a lot in that year.
Yeah, no, that doesn't ring a bell. What about this one for Fraz? Fraz, it's the rematch of the century. It's 1995. It's Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon in the ladder match. But this time, you can't use the ladder as a weapon because WWE weren't using weapons, so it had to be accidental and all that kind of jazz.
No, not a patch on the original, but yeah, I remember it. It was great.
This one is the next big thing. It's 2002. It's The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, what a moment! But is it in the top 10 matches?
Well,
Andy?
it should be in the top 10 promos. Sorry, that's because that montage video of who was it? Was it like Brock was in ice cold baths, like ice water baths and stuff, and running up like the fucking stadium steps and
like
stuff?
Yeah.
That was sick. Sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah, Andy, go.
I would hope that there are other matches from that SummerSlam on this list, because there is one that's significantly better.
Well, it's funny you should say that. According to WWE.com, number 7 is HBK's return against Triple H at SummerSlam 2002, which, equally to Fraz, I would say, has a fantastic video package in the build-up to that as well. So, boys, take it away. Who wants to have that one?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's God Boy, innit? So, didn't really tickle my fancy, but it's a good match.
God Boy Kid. Well, I think what I love most about that match is the fact that Hunter and Shawn basically called it in the ring. And Hunter said on record that he only went as far as Shawn felt comfortable with. Shawn didn't think he was going to be able to do anything, and he got in the ring, they locked up, and basically were talking each other through the match, the whole match, and Shawn was like, I feel good, let's do the elbow spot, let's do this, let's do that. And Hunter was just like, you just fly, Shawn, because you're rocking. So, and then, led to one of the greatest rivalries of the early noughties. So
I remember goosebumps when his music hit, because I waited 4 years for it. It was tremendous.
And it led to brown pants in the chamber. So
well, yeah, let's not talk about that. That might crop up in our Survivor Series show. Let's rewind 25 years. We mentioned it on our weekly show. It's the origin of tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! From Mick Foley. It's from the brainchild of Mick. It was the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. Andy, bit of a TLC fan. What do you think?
Like, such a great year. That 12 months from Mania to Mania. This was one of the greatest matches of all time for me as a kid. It basically took everything that was brilliant in the triangle ladder match and just added 2 extra elements, that being tables and chairs, and it was just brilliant. Excellent.
I agree. 2000, possibly the best year. I recommend anyone goes back and watches every pay-per-view from 2000. It's tremendous. But I've got one for you, Fraz. It's 1994. It's a steel cage match. It's Owen Hart versus Bret Hart.
Yeah.
It's number 5, and it's our first Bret Hart match.
Oh, was that for the title?
That was for the title. It was about a 45-minute steel cage match.
Yeah. Bret won, right?
Bret won, yeah.
He would have done, wouldn't
he? All right, Andy.
No, I'm just saying Owen never won the World
No, all right, mate. Oh, Jesus.
Saying.
It's a bit disrespectful on live TV, isn't it?
I'm glad to see the Brett beef continue.
Yeah,
No beef, I'm
exactly.
just stating
No, I
the
know.
fact
He
that
said,
Owen
no,
never
he
won
was
the
taking the
title.
piss at me because Owen Hart's never won a title. So it was just being silly. I'm sure the viewers would have said that at home, but didn't need my best mate to do that. Hey, fucking hell, son.
What about the best in the world versus the Beast incarnate at SummerSlam 2013? It's match number 4, quite high on the card. I
That's
thought for
high.
that.
That is a good match, but it's high.
I don't. Yeah, for me, it's not in the top 10. I don't think, but I can see someone's point. Andy obviously loves CM Punk, loved Brock Lesnar. Do you remember the match? What do you think?
I remember the build really, really good, and the match was really good. It was a real mismatch between obviously the Beast being huge and Punk being more technical, but Paul Heyman being involved as well, having just turned on Punk. It was really good, really good.
Number 3, if Fraz can remember matches from this far back, I'm not entirely sure, but it's Bret Hart again, and it's from 1991 against Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental title in Madison Square Garden. Do you remember that?
I'm not going to pretend like I know it play for play, but there is memories in this smoky head of mine of that particular match. And didn't Mr. Perfect wear yellow and black that night? Or was
No.
it just yellow? No,
Blue.
orange?
Blue and
Blue.
black, but Bret ripped him off halfway through. He actually had a broken back at this point as well.
Blue and black. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably going to be one of the top 2.
Oh, so, well, speaking of 2, I can throw this one to Andy because I know he's going to love this match, and I did as well. It is AJ Styles, because he is phenomenal, taking on Mr. John Cena at SummerSlam 2016. Remember, this is from WWE.com. You can go on there and look at any point. I have not doctored this at all. It is Mr. John Cena versus AJ Styles. I actually preferred their Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Royal Rumble, we're talking about SummerSlam. And it was a good match. What did you think?
Yeah. Every time AJ and John are in the ring together, it's gold, and I expect them to fight this year at some point, I hope, as I mentioned last week. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think you both had excellent points on a potential feud over a potential title that I saw, because I did watch the show last week. Thank you very much. It gave me a great sense of joy when I was on holiday down at the pool, and I thought you both had fantastic points as I raised comments
This
on
better be number 1.
YouTube. Number 1. So, it's the SummerSlam you thought you'd never see.
Was it Mabel and Diesel?
It's a SummerSlam. It's not. It's Mabel and Jeff Jarrett at 1994. No, it's not really. It's not.
Fucking hell.
It's IRS and Bam Bam Bigelow versus the Head Shrinkers. No, don't panic. It's not. It is indeed in front of 80,000 people in the UK. It's the UK
Indy's
SummerSlam.
first.
The British Bulldog is going to win, whether he wants to or.
Not.
That's right. Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog, SummerSlam 1992. It's the largest SummerSlam crowd. How can it not win? It's an amazing match. And Bulldog couldn't remember any of it, and Bret called it all through the match. So, a bit of a miracle. A bit of a miracle, gentlemen.
Bulldog
But-
was high as a kite, I believe, or drunk as a skunk, one of the two, and he couldn't remember a fucking thing they'd discussed.
Off his
Not a clue.
face.
Off his face.
Right, I'm going to give you boys. Oh, yeah, go on then, Andy. Sorry.
Can I just see? Right. So I did say at least two of the other matches from SummerSlam 2002 deserve to be on there.
Yes.
Where the fuck is Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio?
Very good point.
'Cause
Very,
that is
very good point.
That's top 2.
I would actually go out and say that Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio is the best opening match on any SummerSlam, possibly
any pay-per-view.
Possibly any pay-per-view. I mean, it's up there with Owen and Brett at WrestleMania 10 for me as an opening
Exactly.
match. I mean, I'd struggle with both of them. And when you consider they'd never wrestled each other and they hadn't even done house shows.
And as you can plainly see, that is the face of someone who remembers that match completely, being the biggest Kurt Angle fan ever of all time.
He does. I seem to remember. I can't remember who you were going out with at the time, but didn't they call? They called Kurt Angle Ice Cream Man because he was in white and red pinstripes for that.
No,
And
Silverman.
And he was going. No, Rey Mysterio was Silverman, and Kurt Angle was Ice Cream Man. I seem to remember.
I don't know about that. I remember Silverman, but not Ice Cream Man. But anyway, enough with the fucking hate on you from you, Andy, in particular. Yeah, just because I didn't let you talk about Raw
It's a
in the last
fucking word
fucking
about
video
Raw.
we did.
Right.
God damn it! Now hold up. I do remember this match because I saw a fucking video on it the other day, and Kurt was saying how amazing it was that those two had never even had a match together, and that's how good they were. Not to copy what you just said, but that's what he said in his little video, and then they had some cool little spots from the match. So suck eggs, as Kevin Owens would say.
Well, so before we get any more heated, I'll finish on this one, guys. I'll give you a quick bit of trivia. I'll do a little quiz. Now, they're old. They're two very quick old ones, and then we're done. All right, so SummerSlam was created to go up against an NWA event. Who was Randy Savage originally going to defend the WWF title against? I'll give you a clue. I gave you a clue in the NWA, so it wasn't someone who was already in WWE. So the idea for SummerSlam 88, the first ever SummerSlam, was to have Randy Savage defend the title against someone from the NWA. Who was it going to be?
Who's going first, me or Andy?
No, you can just make a noise
Buzz
and
in.
buzz in.
Ric Flair.
Andy, oh, well, that's not a buzz. Andy, what were you going to say?
I was going to say Steamboat, but
Oh, it is Ric Flair. It is Ric Flair. He bottled it. We had to wait till WrestleMania 8 for that. But yeah, it was Ric Flair. Okay, SummerSlam 1990. Really quick. Brutus Beefcake supposed to challenge Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental title, but he gets someone's knees smashed into his face and he can't wrestle. So the Texas Tornado gets his place, but the WWF wanted someone else. Who did they want?
Warrior? No.
Close, but he was the world champ at the time.
Yeah. I'm too late, yeah.
Yes,
Savage.
married. No, he was fighting Dusty Rhodes at the time. He was the Macho King. One last chance, anybody?
1990. Sorry, 1990.
You talk about Perfect.
Oh,
He was challenging Mr. Perfect, yeah.
maybe early. Tatanka?
A little bit early, but that would have been good, actually. They never did fight. Go on then, last chance for us.
Piper.
No, it was the British Bulldog, who had, a year before, had split up from the Bulldogs. They'd left the WWE and they'd gone to Japan, and at this point Dynamite had pretty much retired, and they wanted to get Davey Boy back, but they couldn't get him out of his New Japan contract until December. But that is who they wanted. But instead we got the Texas Tornado, and he won a title and he'd only been in the WWF for 2 weeks. It was not bad. There you go, boys. We've gone long, but it's Hogan and SummerSlam. I could have gone for another 2 hours. I thank you very much, gentlemen. A tribute to Hulk Hogan, a tribute to the top 10 Bret Hart matches of SummerSlam. Not from me, from WWE.com. A tribute to the greatest kid ever interviewed at SummerSlam. Go back and watch that on Netflix. It's worth watching SummerSlam 1992 just for that kid's haircut. And actually, go back and watch SummerSlam 1992, whether you want to or
not.
Just do anything you want, whether you want to.
Or not.
Exactly. And I'm going to end this show.
Gents, let it breathe. Just let it breathe. Let it breathe. Good night, everyone.
Or not.
Or not.